is a big move coming for the Cleveland Browns. We should be conditioned at this point to know that with Andrew Berry at the wheel, if there is a hole on this roster, he is not going to sit back and hope it gets fixed. He's going to be proactive about it. He's going to be aggressive. And with the Browns currently down two of their top three offensive tackles, Jed Wills and Jack Conklin still on the PUP list. James Hudson out this week with an ankle injury. The Browns are left with three offensive tackles for preseason week 3, DeJuan Jones, Germain Ifedi, and Lorenzo Thompson, which the reports out of training camp have been that Germain Ifedi is running with the first team offense at left tackle. That's fine to get you through a preseason game. But we're now at that stage, though, where with the regular season being 2.5 weeks-ish away and no sign of Jed Wills or Jack Conklin, like not even coming to, well, they can't practice on the PUP list, but still, it doesn't feel like we are getting any sort of really good positive updates on them being close to return. We could get by with this at the start of August and not lose sleep over it. I think we're at the stage now where we should start having a serious conversation about going out and finding a new left tackle, at least to get you through the beginning of the season. Now, Andrew Berry, if we should know anything by now, is not a patient GM. Think about this time last year. What were we all talking about? The Browns have a kicker issue. Cade York has missed a bunch of kicks in the preseason. What are they going to do? What did Andrew Berry do? He did not hope and pray and cross his fingers that Cade York would figure it out. No, he made a trade for Dustin Hopkins. Every single time the Browns have been at a spot where they feel like they can improve, but they could just wait and hope that their guy comes through, 9 times out of 10, they go out and make a move. And I feel like this is going to be one of those times. So when you look at the free agent offensive tackles for the Browns to consider, David Bakhtiari is by far the most notable name. 5-time All-Pro left tackle for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. However, he has missed a ton of time recently with a consistent knee injury that he got surgery on in late 2023. And if he's 100% now, would be worth exploring. DJ Humphries for the Cardinals last year, he ultimately got moved on from because of age and them ready to put Paris Johnson at that left tackle position. Charles Leno, he's been a consistent starter in the league for nearly a decade at this point. Duane Brown is up there in the age column, but he's been a plug-and-play guy for a lot of teams the last few years. Donovan Smith was Tom Brady and the Buccaneers left tackle for a long stretch. Cam Fleming has been that, like, James Hudson, Chris Hubbard, like 6-man, first swing tackle off the bench for a handful of organizations. He could be worth looking at as well. David Bakhtiari, though, to take a closer look at, would have to be the most notable name of the bunch. 5-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. However, in the last 3 years, twice he has played just 1 game. And the other season, he only played 11 games. He's had consistent knee issues, and ultimately he gets surgery, and it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. However, the last time he got surgery, he and the medical team were confident this would be the end of the surgeries, and this would be the one that fixed it all. So I feel like it's worth exploring to see if he truly is healthy, and if so, would he want to come play for the Browns in a pinch until Jed Wills and or Jack Conklin is healthy? Donovan Smith is another name to keep an eye on. He was the Buccaneers starting left tackle from 2015 to 2022. Then he goes over to the Chiefs in 2023. He starts 12 games for them at left tackle. He was a solid tackle. I don't think he was as good as his days in Tampa, but he started every single playoff game, did not miss a single snap, helped them hoist the Lombardi. So with 2 Super Bowl rings, he definitely knows a thing or two about playing deep into the postseason, so he could be worth looking at as well. PFF ranked him 61 out of 81 qualifying tackles, which is not a super impressive feat. However, I will say that was better than Jed Wills. But at the end of the day, you got to bring in a plug-and-play tackle. There are a lot of nuances to football, but offensive tackle, not to make it too degrading or simplifying, is maybe one of the easier positions. Not saying it's easy, but maybe easier than others to bring a guy in and just insert him into the lineup, right? If you're coming up with a list of positions you can do that at, like quarterback's the most difficult. Wide receiver and linebacker are not far behind because linebacker's kind of the quarterback of the defense. Defensive tackle might be the easiest because it's a little bit of like see ball, go get ball, like go kill the quarterback. But offensive tackle is probably not too far behind. So if you can find an offensive tackle that can just hold down the fort, if Jed Wills and Jack Conklin stay on the PUP list, put him there for 4 weeks, and that's probably going to be a much better outcome than James Hudson at left tackle. So should the Browns sign a tackle? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I feel like they absolutely should if they continue to not get any good news from Jed Wills or Conklin. But let me know what you think. I'm typing Y for yes. Now, next up on the show, we're going to look at some offensive tackle trade options in case the Browns decide none of those guys in free agency can play at a high level anymore. We've done our homework on them, or they're not interested in playing anymore, so it's got to be via trade. We'll look at some trade candidates for the Browns. But first, I want to tell everyone watching about our great friends over at Game Time. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. See, Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, so you only have to see the incredible deals on seats that now you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. One thing I really like about Game Time is their all-in pricing option. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront cost with no surprise fees at checkout. So download the Game Time app today and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. I put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now, quick reminder, if you start off on the PUP list, that means you are out for a minimum your team's first 4 games. So if Conklin and Wills remain on the PUP list after roster cutdown day, the Browns are going to be without their services no matter how healthy they get overnight for at least 4 weeks, which is why the Browns at that point, if it does get that serious, might decide, hey, we're not looking to sign a guy just to get us to the first week or 2 of the season. We're looking to trade for a guy that we think is better than the free agents that could help us out for a minimum of 4 weeks, but there's no guarantee after those 4 weeks that Wills or Conklin will be ready to roll as early as week 5. So if that's the route the Browns want to go down in terms of finding a more long-term solution at left tackle, here are some trade targets that I cooked up. Blake Freeland, former day 3 or day 2 pick a few years ago by the Colts, has not really stuck in Indy. He's been a backup for them lately, so maybe the Colts are ready to kind of go a different way, and the Browns can be a fresh start for him. Geron Christian, is a familiar name. He was traded from the Browns to the Titans earlier this offseason. Remember, he started a lot of games at left tackle at the end of 2023, so if the Browns want to bring back a familiar face, that is an option. Larry Borom for the Chicago Bears. He's kind of their James Hudson equivalent in terms of his role as a swing tackle. And maybe the Bears are ready to kind of cut ties with him, and the Browns feel like he's an upgrade over their swing tackle. Chris Hubbard we'll look at in a moment in a closer detail. Max Mitchell, the Jets drafted Olu Fashanu, and they signed Tyron Smith, which is kind of boxing out him. And maybe the Browns are looking at his tape and thinking, man, this is a guy that can really step in and help us out for a few weeks. Chris Hubbard, though, I think might be the best option of the 5. Of course, he played for the Browns from 2018 to 2022. He made 35 starts in that stretch. Last year, he joined the Titans early in the season when I think it was Nicolas Petit-Frere got suspended due to gambling. He started the first 9 games for them, played pretty well, I'd say. Then he goes and signs with the 49ers in May. And now that the 49ers don't need his help, especially with Trent Williams kind of in a holdout at the moment, but if they decide, hey, we're going to get Williams back, we're confident in the rest of our tackles, and we wouldn't hate getting an extra draft pick or 2, maybe that's something the Browns explore. So if you look at Chris Hubbard's PFF grades from last season, we'll put him on screen for you here in just a second. Chris Hubbard ranking 36 out of 81. 68.2 overall grade, 67.8 pass blocking grade, and a 62.7 run blocking grade. Again, a familiar face that we've seen the Browns run it back with guys before. Who thought Cade York would ever come back to Cleveland? I didn't. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns go, hey, we know what we have in Hubbard. We don't have to catch him up to speed too much, especially kind of a short time frame. He can pick up the playbook and probably get up to speed on it way quicker than everyone else could. So Hubbard could be a name to watch for if the 49ers are open to a trade with their somewhat recently signed backup offensive tackle. But the Browns ultimately, if they don't already internally, they need to figure out a Jed Wills timeline as soon as possible. With how slow the news updates have been and the typical Kevin Stefanski vanilla response that really tells you absolutely nothing, I'm starting to get concerned that something has not gone well in Jed Wills' rehab. I don't know if there was some sort of speed bump or a setback. God forbid a second surgery had to take place. But things I don't think are going to plan for Jed Wills like we would have thought 3, 4, 5 months ago. And if they don't get an accurate timeline soon, they cannot just hope that James Hudson's going to step into a large role and come through in the clutch. We saw a lot of him last year. It really wasn't good football. Like, that's just a honest and not even biased take there. I think a lot of people would agree Hudson was not showing to be the guy that could be a starting left tackle for a team. So, Andrew Berry, you've done it before. We need you to do it again. Get the flex seal out, Andrew Berry. Every single time the Browns have an issue, Andrew Berry throws money or draft picks at it. There are so many GMs like the Dallas Cowboys that just go, no, we like our guys. We're going to hope they come through. Andrew Berry thinks in the exact opposite way. There's a problem. We're going to fix it. There is a problem right now with the offensive line, and I expect him to make a move to fix it. Before we get on out of here, I just want to show some love right now to members of the Brown and Orange Club, viewers that send in $50 in super chats during our watch parties and are going to get shout outs for the entire 2024 season. So if you'd like to come hang out with us for a future watch party, $50 super chat, and you'll join Tim Green, Mike Dibble, Jeremy Stallman, Slow But Sure, David Botner, Jared Brandt, James Harper, Papa T, Joseph DePorte, and Mike. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, really going above and beyond to give us all the support you had. And if you want to get on screen and get a shout out during the 2024 season, $50 super chat during our watch parties. All right, time to pick a card to wrap up the show. Trizzy Trace was the man pushing all the buttons today. Which card do you want to go with, Trace?
I'm liking the 7 of hearts today.
I'm going to go with the 6 of hearts.
Ooh.
You go 7, I'll go 6 of hearts.
Let's do it.
6 of diamonds.
Oh, come on.
6 of diamonds. Damn.
Come on.
Only a few days left, or like videos left, I should say, before the regular season gets here and the cards get retired. All right. Quick reminder, or I guess not reminder, but quick ask. If you enjoy the content here, go follow me on Twitter/X at Matthew Petey. I'm talking brownies over there. Would love to really boost my Twitter follows and just overall presence. So help me out and hit me up on Twitter at Matthew Petey.